leave house. And we're about to do the homework over domain and range. You just learned that the domain goes from left to right on the x-axis, and the range goes from bottom to top. And if there are arrow tips, you include infinity in your inequalities. Okay, so let's get rocking, and I need to record this, or I will be talking for nothing, as I've done today once. Okay, and let me record it to the computer, not the cloud. Okay, we are recording. And a magical whiteboard appears in the office. So let's get rocking. We're going to do number one. Remember, the domain goes from left to right. So let's get our domain first. It'll be a closed dot right here and an open dot right here. Okay, so the closed dot is at -3 and the open dot is at 4. And the closed dot will get a less than or equal sign. The open dot will be a less than sign, and you use an X. So we are using inequalities to define where our domain is. The range is on the y-axis. It'll go from the bottom to the top. So the range will start here, and it will go up to here. It'll be -1, 2, 3, -1, 2, 3, up to 1, 2, 3, +3. So my range goes from -3 to the bottom to +3 at the top. This is pretty simple. You're just counting the spaces. Then we put our less than symbols. This is an open dot. It's less than. This is a closed dot, less than or equal. We don't use X. We use Y for the domain. Now then, is it discrete or continuous? It is a continuous function. And it is a function, because the x's do not repeat. Now then, on number 2, this is the way I would suggest you do this. Make a t-chart. Put your x and y, and I'll show you another way after do this. We're just going to make a t-chart of these ordered pairs. So this ordered pair here would be, and it's got to count it, it's kind of tedious, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -7. And you would go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, -8. So that ordered pair would be -7, -8. We're going to go from left to right, so our domain will be in order. The next dot to the left is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So left 4, up 4. The next dot is right here. So we stay in the middle and go up 1, 0, 1. The next dot's here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, -1. Notice I'm going left to right with these dots. So my domains will be in order, won't they? Then the last dot's way over here to the right. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 9, -6. So these are my ordered pairs, aren't they? Now then I can write my domain and range, and I'm going to use the braces here. I will not use inequalities because this is not continuous. It is discrete. So the domain, we're going to put a brace, and it's already in order because of the way I wrote down my ordered pairs. So the domain is going to be a piece of cake in it. You just write them down. The range, though, we're going to have to put in order. So start a brace. The smallest range at the bottom was way over here, wasn't it? Which is at -8. Then the next smallest was -6, then -1, then a +1, then a 4. And this was discrete, wasn't it? Remember, discrete is just ordered pairs. It's dots. It's not a continuous line. And is it a function? It is a function because the x's do not repeat. Okay, the x's do not repeat. And I'm going to not do all these for you. The next one I will do is 6 because it has an arrow tip on it. Okay. So on number 6, there's 2 ways to write this down. Let's do our domain first. So you on number 6. Make sure you're on number 6. We're going to draw an open dot. And then if you go to the right, you're going to have an arrow tip, aren't you? There's 2 ways to write this down. 2 ways to write this down. So the domain starts on the left at -4, and it goes to infinity, doesn't it? The -4 will have a less than symbol, x, and then less than or equal to. That's one way to write the domain. The other way, if you take the infinity out and just do this, you would have, and flip it around, you would have x greater than -4. That kind of makes sense because that's your domain in it. So that would be your domain. X is more than -4 in it. Kind of makes sense doing it that way. You could write either of those down for the domain. Both of those could appear on your STAR test. Now then, let's get the range. So from the bottom, the range goes here to infinity, and it goes up to here with an open dot. So my range will go from negative infinity up to positive 3. I'm going to have a less than or equal to and a less than symbol with a y, right? Now then, take out the infinity. That's one way to write your range. The other way is just to use this, which is y less than 3. That makes sense because that would be your range, wouldn't it? Would start at negative 3 and go down. Y would be less than negative 3. Either one of these would work, okay? Would this be discrete or continuous? It would be continuous. And is it a function? Yes, it is, because the x's do not repeat. And I'm going to start you off on one more. Number 8 is kind of tricky. Hey, I'm just going to put the 4 dots down for the domain and range and let you finish this up. The domain goes from left to right. So my domain goes from here with an open dot, and then this is the furthest right it goes, doesn't it? Notice that this open dot is closed here and here, doesn't it? So this open dot down here will not go to the domain. So the domain will go from the open dot to the left to the closed dot to the very far right of the graph. The range will go from the bottom to the top. This will be the bottom of the range, and this will be the top of the range. So you will use those 4 dots to graph or to determine your domain and range values. The graph is not a function, is it? Because the x's will repeat with a vertical line. Let me stop recording so I could get these made up. Let me end the Zoom meeting. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic day. Have fun with your homework. Make sure you watch this 17 Seconds of Zen. We all need some Zen. Mr. Tubes, if you need any help, message your math teacher. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and always believe.